Welcome to the Big Game Hunting Podcast, where we help hunters like you prepare for the big game hunting adventures you've always dreamed of. Now, here's your host, John McAdams.
Hello, John McAdams here, and you are listening to episode 245 of the Big Game Hunting Podcast. Linda Powell is up next in my ongoing series on new products and updates from rifle and ammunition manufacturers for 2023, and she is going to share the details on what's new with Mossberg this year. Before we get started, make sure you are on my email list. To do that, go to huntingguns101.com, and then you can sign up for my free ebook there on the best hunting cartridges. You'll get that free ebook when you sign up, plus you'll also start to receive the emails I send out every weekday. These are entertaining and informative emails about hunting, shooting, ballistics, etc. I get feedback all the time from people telling me how much they enjoy receiving them and how much they look forward to hearing from me every day. So make sure you're getting them too by going to huntingguns101.com and signing up. I will also put a link that you can click in the show notes to go straight to that page. Okay, let's get started talking to Linda about the new stuff from Mossberg. Okay, well, good morning, Linda. It is great having you back on the show, as always. I love talking to you about stuff from Mossberg, especially some of the new stuff you guys are rolling out here in 2023.
Thank you, John. It's always a pleasure to catch up with you, too.
Well, let's start on the rifle side. So it seems like you got some news there, and one of your biggest new things that you're rolling out this year is that Mossberg is one of the companies that's jumping on the 7mm PRC train with some offerings in that new chambering.
We are. We've actually introduced that in our Patriot series, the Predator model, which for people that may not be familiar with that, that's probably more of our compact version. Comes with a threaded barrel, comes with a stock, synthetic stock, Picatinny rail, so ease of adding optics. So that's the basic platform, but we have two offerings in it. We have one with a flat, dark earth finish, and the second one has a True Timber Strata camo stock partnered up with a Cerakote finish on the metalwork. These guns both come with 24-inch barrels, which really help to maximize the performance of the 7mm PRC. Again, 24-inch barrels, threaded, fluted, and weigh in at about 6.5 pounds. So it's really a great hunting rifle. That, to me, is about the sweet spot for a rifle when you're on the go.
And I see MSRP of $536 for the flat dark earth and $636 for the Cerakote Strata Camo. So good, reasonably priced rifles here for someone that wants to shoot the 7PRC but doesn't want to drop a ton of cash on it.
Yeah. And I've had the opportunity, I actually have done some shooting at the range with it, a couple of events where we were shooting out to yardage, easily to 600 to 800 yards. But also just recently did a nilgai hunt, and we had great performance on game with the 7mm PRC. So I think this is going to be a cartridge that's around to stay, and a lot of people are going to be impressed with its performance. Very, very interesting.
Do you recall offhand what ammo you guys used on those nilgai with the 7PRC?
We were using the Hornady, their ELDX Hunter, and I'm trying to remember what grain rate. I think it was around a 168, kind of is what comes to mind, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
So I think they're rolling out that cartridge with the 175 ELDX.
Okay. All right. I knew we were up there a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, it's still a real heavy bullet though. So okay, real cool. Glad to see that worked well for you. And I'll tell you that Mossberg Patriot has come a long way from when you first introduced it, hasn't it?
It has. We've continued to grow and expand the line, and I'll just touch on it. That Predator is a very affordable option, and actually is one of our top selling, and it's a great value. But I've used it in so many different chamberings, and have just found it to be inherently accurate, and like I said, just a great hunting rifle.
Okay, cool. Well, let's talk about what else is new in the Patriot line for this year.
Yeah, we've got the Patriot Long Range Tactical Platform. So again, it's got our Patriot Action, but we've dropped it into an MDT chassis system, which allows it to be more customizable. You have in the front, you have slots to add accessories. Those are M-LOT slots. You come down, and the rifle's actually fed by an Accuracy International chassis system magazine, which gives you the versatility of using aftermarket magazines as well. The grip's more of a straight grip, and then it comes into a stock. And here's where I love the adjustability. You have a knob to be able to adjust the comb height so you can get that proper eye alignment, and also inserts to be able to adjust the length of pull. So it's really just a very solid stock. Also has V-block bedding, so we really work to improve that long-range accuracy. It comes within 3 different calibers. We have 6.5 Creedmoor, 6.5 PRC, and 308 Win, all great long-range shooting cartridges, and either then a choice of a 22 or 24-inch barrel depending on the cartridge. Topped with a 20 MOA rail to give you that added adjustability for your optics. And this is really set up for long-range tactical shooting, yes, but for people who hunt in more open country, it's a great long-range hunting platform as well.
Okay, well, these look like really cool rifles there, and so glad to see the continued expansion of the Patriot line in general with both new chamberings and the new long-range tactical line. Anything else you want to talk about with rifles before we switch over to things on the shotgun side for you?
No, I think it's a great year for shotgun shooters because we have lots of new intros there.
Well, tell us about the new stuff with the 940 first.
Sure. Well, we continue to expand our line of 940 12-gauge autoloading shotguns. If you're not familiar, that's a newer gas-operated platform that we developed just a couple of years ago that allows you to run your gun up to 1,500 rounds without needing cleaning, which I love. It also has the ability to have stock adjusted either for cast, drop, and length of pull, so you can custom fit it. We have lots of guns in the lineup, turkey guns, waterfowl guns, even tactical guns. But we've added a new 940 Pro Field, which just is a good general all-purpose 12-gauge gun with a really kind of handsome dark walnut stock and forend. Comes with a 28-inch barrel length. And, again, if you're looking for an all-purpose general field gun, this would be a very solid choice. Suggested retails around $1,000, but as I tell most people, when you see those suggested retails, actual, street prices in the store, you're going to find those to run about $50 to $75 less. So you're talking about a gun that's going to come in under $1,000.
Okay, so I have the older version of the 940 Pro Field with the synthetic stock on it. It seems like it's basically identical to this new one, except with just a different stock, right?
It is. It's just a matter of preference, what you prefer. But, yes, all the same features that your gun has.
Yes, I've taken it on 2 sandhill crane hunts now, and it's both just eaten up everything I've thrown at it on both of them, and it did really well on both crane hunts, and especially dealing with windy conditions out there and getting that West Texas red dirt kind of dust into everything. It kept chugging along through the whole deal. I did need to clean it after that second trip out there, but it did the job while I was out there, and I've been very happy with that shotgun. So glad to see continued expansion of that line. And you and I had talked, I think last year, right after you announced it, that just the regular 940 Pro, that you're going to continue to expand the line. And now you got the Pro Turkey, Pro Waterfowl, the Pro Field. You have some tactical shotguns in there as well. And so is it unreasonable to assume that in the future we could see a Slugster or something along those lines in the 940 line as well?
I sure hope so. And I think that makes sense, just the natural progression. And it just takes time to add these new models to the lineup, but I wouldn't be surprised that you don't see that at some time in the future, too. And I'm really looking forward to that. I've had the opportunity on the tactical side to do a defensive shotgun course and have run slugs and buckshot and, those rounds through the 940, and I was really pleasantly surprised at how comfortable it was to shoot, even with those harder-hitting loads.
Okay, very, very good. Well, let's talk about what is new in your 500 series of shotguns.
Yeah, I'm really excited. With turkey seasons coming up, we have added some new guns to that line, both our 500, which is our 12 gauge 3-inch gun, and our 835, which is our 12 gauge 3.5 inch. These are the pump actions. We have now added optic ready platforms. And people may say, well, what is that? The beauty of this is the receiver on the shotgun actually has a cut in it where you can mount the optic directly to the receiver. And that provides for proper eye alignment. So when you shoulder that gun and you look down the barrel, that sight is going to be exactly where it needs to be. And we've seen this for a long time in handguns and ARs and other platforms, but it's a relatively new concept to shotguns. And I think this is just perfect for turkey hunters because today with shooting these newer loads, I feel like we're shooting shotguns more like we do rifles. And so having that optic on it has really, I think, become a great advantage. So on the 500 line, we've added both a 410 version and a 20 gauge. And then again, that 835 is in the 12 gauge.
Now, you made reference to, some of these new loads and whatnot that people are using and we have access to. And I am assuming, specifically on the turkey side, that you're referring to maybe some of these bismuth and tungsten loads and whatnot that are out there that make it much more practical to hunt turkey with a 410 or something than used to be the case. Is that what you were referring to?
Exactly. We've seen that trend in the market thanks to the development of all these new non-toxics, like you mentioned. There has just been a real shift in the market for hunting turkeys and even some now waterfowl with smaller gauge guns. So we've continued to expand our line to kind of go along with that. So, actually for the first time last spring, I took a 410 out and I was amazed at the performance, but I think more than anything else, I just enjoyed carrying a lighter weight, lower recoiling gun. And in fact, I was just pleasantly surprised at how nice it was to shoot a 410, and again, didn't feel like I was limited in my range for turkeys.
Well, talk to us about some of the other developments that you got in turkey guns and some of your other lines, especially in some of these smaller bore diameters.
Sure. We have our line of Mossberg International guns, our SA series, and this is a series of auto-loading shotguns. These are going to be available in 20 and 28 gauge with straight stock and pistol grip versions, and we also have it in 410. So these are nice, compact, lightweight, smooth cycling autoloaders. They're gas operated. They come with camo stocks. These are in greenleaf and bottomland. And again, I think for anybody who's looking for something lighter weight, lower recoiling, whether it be an adult or for youth, these are just great options.
Now, is that the only offerings that you have for semi-auto shotguns in the smaller bores like that, like 20 gauge, 28 gauge, et cetera?
That's correct. Our SA series is our line of smaller gauge, smaller bore semi-autos. On the 500 and pump action side, we have those available, but that's correct that the SA series is our only option.
Because your 930 and 940s are only 12 gauge, right?
They are at this point, and people ask about that. There's a lot of development cost involved in building those and going to 12 gauge and going to 20 gauge and smaller gauge guns. But, maybe in the future, I hope we'll add maybe a 940 20 gauge. I'd love to see that. But again, I think this SA series is a great option for people.
Okay, very good. Anything else, any other new developments that we haven't mentioned so far?
I don't think so. Lots of other, additions, kind of expansions to lines. Some other field guns that your listeners may want to check out. We have an SA-28 field, and we have a 500 retrograde field, which is somebody wanting kind of the look and feel of the classic 500. This has a beautiful walnut stock and corncob style fore-end, so a little nostalgia, but yet with built to today's level of performance and quality.
Okay, cool. It seemed like, a lot of this stuff happened really before I was kind of aware of what was going on. Say like when we had to switch over from lead shot to non-toxic shot for waterfowl hunting, it seemed like that switch really killed a lot of, or maybe not completely killed, but really hurt the use of some of those smaller bore shotguns. Stuff in between, like
absolutely.
16 gauge and then the 20 and 28 gauge. But so it is cool to see some of that stuff starting to make a comeback now with the advent of just better quality ammo, so you can get performance that is approaching what you used to be able to get with lead shot in some of that those smaller bores.
I agree, and I think one of the things that I really love most about it is it gives us the opportunity for people who maybe have physical limitations, again, or for youth, or for people who just don't want to deal with 12-gauge recoil, gives them lots of options now to still get out in the field and enjoy, the hunting and shooting sports.
Now, in that same vein, do you make tactical versions of stuff in your SA line for someone that wanted to use it for home security and 410 or 20 gauge or something like that?
We don't specifically, I was going to say, have tactical versions. I mean, obviously some of these would be applicable for that market. But, I would say in general for the tactical market, you do see a lot of focus on the pump action shotguns. And I think that's just because of their long history and their reliability and durability. We do have smaller gauges, obviously, in our 590 and our 590A1 line of tactical guns.
Okay, I'm taking a look on your website right now. Okay, I see a 590 and 410 and 20 gauges. Yeah, 20 gauge. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Very good with that stuff. So, okay. Well, Linda, it was great having you on the show. As we wrap up, is there anything else that you want to mention, and or talk about where people can learn more about the new stuff from Mossberg?
Sure. I would just encourage you to check out our website at mossberg.com. As we continue to launch new products throughout the year. So stay tuned. There'll be more coming before the end of this year. Okay.
Well, I'm looking forward to maybe seeing some new developments, especially with 7PRC and expansion with that 940 line and stuff. And so you guys do good work, and I'm excited to continue to see you guys put out new and cool things.
Thanks so much, John. I appreciate you letting me share all this with the listeners.
As always, there is a link in the show notes to where you can learn more about these new products from Mossberg. On a personal note, I am really happy to see yet another 7mm PRC option available with their Patriot rifles, and I'm also really excited to see continued expansion of their 940 semi-automatic shotgun line. I really like that shotgun. Check out episode 196 to hear more details about the 940 Pro Field that I have. I've had that shotgun for over a year now, and I love it. I've taken it on both my sandhill crane hunts, and it has worked beautifully. So that shotgun is definitely worth checking out if you want a good utilitarian semi-auto shotgun. And like Linda and I talked about, the available options for it continue to grow and grow every year. So click the link in the show notes to learn more about this new stuff from Mossberg. As we wrap up, let's switch gears and talk very quickly about Africa. I've almost completely filled up the calendar for 2023 over the past few weeks, and I have 2 spots left in 2023 in late June, early July. I'm offering reduced pricing for those hunts, and I'm also giving some special bonuses to podcast listeners, but when that stuff's gone, it's gone. I've already got some people that have asked about them, but no one has committed to these last 2 spots yet, so they're still available. If you are a serious hunter looking for an African hunting adventure, send me an email, john@thebiggamehuntingblog.com, or visit bestSafariHunt.com, and I'll get you set up with that hunt you've always dreamed about for plains game, buffalo, or both. Mention that you heard about Big Game Hunting Adventures through the Big Game Hunting Podcast, and like I said, I will give you a special bonus on top of the special cancellation pricing that I am offering for those 2 remaining spots. Now, note that the prices listed on the website don't reflect those bonuses and cancellation stuff. I'm not making that available to the general public. Email me, john@thebiggamehuntingblog.com, for all the details. Remember, you can make your dream hunt turn into a reality, and I can help. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you back here next time on the Big Game Hunting Podcast.
This show may be over, but we have plenty more for you on our website. For more information on today's topic, as well as lots of other useful hunting resources, head over to thebiggamehuntingblog.com. We look forward to having you back for the next episode. But until then, happy hunting.